everybody. I'm Bianca Ferrar. This is E! News Daily, our 30-minute look at the latest in entertainment news. A California man is suing Jack Nicholson, claiming the Oscar-winning actor and others attacked him in traffic. In court papers, Robert Blank says he was stopped at a light in suburban Los Angeles last Tuesday. He says Nicholson and several others climbed out of a nearby car, pounded on his car, and shattered his windshield with an object resembling a pipe. Blank claims he was injured by broken glass. He does not say in the suit what triggered the alleged incident. A spokesman for Nicholson did not return calls Wednesday from E! News. Kids under 15 will not be able to see the movie Schindler's List in Sweden.
You didn't see this girl. I saw this girl. This girl was wolf.
Sweden's censorship board says the Holocaust drama is inappropriate for children. The board made news in 1982 for restricting another Spielberg film, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The Swedish distributor of Schindler's List plans to appeal the latest age restriction. Schindler's List has won several critics' awards and is up for 12 Academy Awards. Now the film is conquering England as well. Tuesday, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts announced Schindler's List was its top nominee. The British version of the Oscars singled out Schindler's List for 13 nominations, including Best Film, and its lead Liam Neeson for his performance as German businessman Oscar Schindler. However, most of the Best Actor nominations went to Anthony Hopkins. He's nominated twice for roles in The Remains of the Day and Shadowlands.
Will you marry this foolish, frightened old man?
Rounding out the acting category, In the Name of the Father's Daniel Day-Lewis. In the Best Actress category, Holly Hunter is nominated for The Piano. But in a departure from the Oscars, she joins Miranda Richardson, who gets the nod for Tom and Viv. The other actress nominees are the same as the U.S., Emma Thompson in The Remains of the Day and Debra Winger in Shadowlands. Unlike the Oscars, the British Awards nominated Ben Kingsley for Best Supporting Actor for his role as a Jewish accountant in Schindler's List. The awards will be handed out 3 separate ceremonies in London in March and April.
So receive me, brother, with your faithless kiss.
Bruce Springstein will perform at this year's Oscar ceremony. The Boss will sing his Academy Award-nominated song, Streets of Philadelphia. It's featured in the AIDS drama Philadelphia. The Academy Awards air next month on ABC. Now from the Oscars to the Grammys. Frank Sinatra will be honored at next month's Grammy Awards. The 8-time Grammy winner will receive the Legend Award. The presenter will be U2's lead singer, Bono.
A C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie.
The men behind the Muppets and their music were honored recently in New York. The tribute to the late Muppet creator Jim Henson and songwriter Joe Raposo was sponsored by the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. Among those attendants, Beethoven's second co-star Charles Grodin.
Tonight, for the first time, we'll honor them for their work together and for the very special legacy that they left.
At the tribute, and one of Henson's most famous characters, Big Bird, flew in for a special appearance. Singer Barry Gibb is hospitalized in Miami for a heart problem. Gibb, a member of the BeeGees, was admitted 2 weeks ago for heart irregularities and is undergoing tests. The BeeGees' spring European tour has reportedly been canceled as a result of the illness. Alleged Hollywood madam Heidi Fliess caused a media frenzy when she was arraigned last year. Since then, she's been lying low. But she invited Greg Agnew along when she made a rare public appearance in Los Angeles.
Heidi Fliess is in front of the cameras again. It's not as crazy as her court appearance last August on charges of supplying prostitutes and drug possession, but this event, an autograph session to help the homeless, drew a slew of reporters.
Just keep them back, we're behind us, let's do a good day.
I hate cameras.
So why do you put yourself out there? I mean, you've become a celebrity.
Since I'm thrust into this position that never expected, never wanted, and if in some way it could help, let it help.
The woman, who describes herself as a charity case, is donating proceeds from her line of pajamas, robes, and casual wear to help the less fortunate. Fliess, who police say was the largest supplier of prostitutes to Hollywood's elite, is very much in demand these days. She even has a publicist to screen all requests for interviews.
I don't want any cameras even in there where I'm signing.
This image of helping the homeless is so different from the Heidi image that people have from the arraignment hearing and from everything else. Who is Heidi? How would you describe yourself?
At this point, I don't even know. I really don't. I've just learned a lot about people and how ugly our society is.
Wait a minute!
Do you feel almost friendless, or do you have a group of friends?
Of course I have friends. I think so. Who is it? Pablo Picasso. Friends? I have none. I don't know.
Heidi's next public appearance is in front of a judge in a courtroom. That's scheduled for later this month. From Los Angeles, I'm Greg Agnew for E! News Daily.
Fliess's attorney will be in court again Friday trying to get the case dismissed. Malibu Comics is coming to the rescue of victims of last year's floods in the Midwest. The publishers have created the Ultraverse flood relief comic, and its superheroes join forces to fight the evil flood character who has inundated America's Midwest. Proceeds from the comic book go to the American Red Cross. Coming up on E! News Daily, celebrities are adding to their family tree, and Steven Seagal finds himself on deadly ground. We'll explain in just a moment. Some of the biggest names in the movie business turned out for the premiere of Inevitable Grace Tuesday, but most of the names aren't necessarily the most famous faces. Jennifer Nicholson may not be a household name, but you've probably heard of her father, Jack. She makes her film debut in the erotic thriller Inevitable Grace, with a few tips from Dad.
He told me just to be myself.
Jade Barrymore may not be as familiar to audiences as her daughter Drew, but she also acts, and she had a hand in writing her role in the movie.
I just wanted to create somebody sort of naughty and outrageous and a kind of character that in real life, it doesn't, you know, in real life it doesn't all come together and you don't get to do all the wonderful naughty little things you want to do, but in the movies you get to do them.
Inevitable Grace opens in limited release Friday. Advertising for the Alaskan film industry is full of hot air, at least the billboard is. The inflatable bull moose on the Sunset Strip in Los Angeles is part of the Alaska Film Office's ad campaign to attract production. Warner Brothers filmed Steven Seagal's new movie on deadly ground in Alaska. Seagal is known for his action-packed pictures, but his latest efforts adds to new elements to the mix. First, a touch of social consciousness. Second, it marks the actor's first turn as a director. Seagal plays an oil industry roughneck who puts out fires for an aggressive independent oil company run by Michael Caine. The movie carries a strong environmental theme.
We can only pollute so much more before everybody just starts dying. You know, people are dying of cancer now, like, 10 times more than they were 10 years ago, and you don't hear about that. I gotta say, I'm a little ashamed of you. I'd just like to ask you something. How much is enough?
Seagal's character learns the oil company is unconcerned about damaging the Alaskan wilderness, so he teams with Eskimos to defend their native lands against drilling. The movie was shot on location in Alaska and northern Washington state. How strong an environmental message can the audience expect from On Deadly Ground?
Well, I hope strong enough to get them to really think about what we can do to, change the powers that be.
On Deadly Ground, which Seagal also co-produced, opens nationwide Friday. Planet Hollywood is helping promote Seagal's new film. The New York City restaurant declared last Thursday Steven Seagal Day. The actor donated a number of wardrobe items used in the movie. Just ahead on E! News Daily, a country singer tries to shake his sexy image. And celebrities are overcome with Mardi Gras madness. Stay with us, we'll be right back. NBC says it's renewing the cop drama Homicide Life on the Streets. The show failed to pull in ratings when it debuted last year, but the network says it has ordered an undisclosed number of new episodes for the fall season. Comedian Harry Shearer is the voice of dozens of characters on The Simpsons, but he also does a weekly radio show. He's assembled his favorite skits from that show onto an album.
This is your brain on drugs with 2 strips of bacon.
It Must Have Been Something I Said includes Shearer's topical parodies and impersonations from 10 years of his national radio program called The Show. David Lee Roth has experienced the highs and lows of music business. Once again, he's shooting for the top, but with a whole new, different approach. Roth is back with a new album, a new single, and a new look. The new album is called YFLM, Your Filthy Little Mouth. The new single is called She's My Machine. Roth will preview the unusual love song Sunday on Fox following the George Carlin show.
Well, very simply put, a love song to my car. Something I got off of Country Music Channel. It seems to be one of the tribal favorites. Hey, you know.
Roth's new haircut and new image may come as a surprise to fans who love the character he created for a series of popular music videos in the mid-'80s.
Life goes on without me, 'cause with most artists, what you see is what you get forever and ever. And that it's not really a character, it's part of me. I still have that, but I don't want to be the same person where people say, Dave, do you think success has changed you? I say, I damn well hope so.
Roth's new album hits record stores March 8th.
You know how much I love you, and darling, I'm ready to prove it, and that's my...
Country singer Colin Ray's good looks and romantic ballads have given him a reputation as a hunk. But he says he's really just a regular guy. Ray says his sexy image is just the way he's marketed. He hopes his latest album and single, That's My Story, will appeal to a male audience as well. The song tells what can happen when you lie to your mates. Ticket prices to see Michael Jackson and his family have been slashed. Tickets for Saturday's Jackson Family Honors TV special were selling for $200 to $350. Now they've been cut by more than half because of poor sales. The Jackson Family Honors airs next Tuesday on NBC. The madness of Mardi Gras in New Orleans may be over, but the celebrities who showed up to celebrate will not forget the experience anytime soon. Amy Powell has more.
Dan Aykroyd may have been singing the blues, but he was having the time of his life at Mardi Gras, the annual Bacchanal prior to Lent.
I showed, I flashed, I got some beads last time. But this is really the first one, and it's really, you know, quite an honor and a dignity to be asked on board by a giant musical talent.
Aykroyd joined native son Harry Connick Jr. in participating in this year's Orpheus Parade. Connick, as King of Orpheus, organized the event.
It's the most outrageous event I've ever been a part of in my life. It was so much fun, and you know, I wanted to do some things for the community, but part of the reason I formed Orpheus was for selfish reasons, because it was so much fun, and I said, I got to do this again.
Connick invited pals like fellow native Branford Marsalis, soul diva Vanessa Williams, and rock and roll pioneer Little Richard.
I started in New Orleans, and this is my first time going to the carnival before. I made all my hits here, Long Tall Sally, Tutti Frutti, Good Golly Miss Molly, Rip It Up at Cosmo Studio many years ago.
This year's Bacchus Parade was led by action star Jean-Claude Van Damme. Taking the spotlight at the Endymion Parade were L.A. Law's Corbin Burnson and his mother, Jeannie Cooper, a longtime fixture on The Young and the Restless. Rock legend Stephen Stills was spotted taking part in the festivities. Stills recently opened a restaurant in the city. Naturally, with all the musicians in town, there was great music to be heard, including the Neville Brothers. And following each of the parades, the crew members treat themselves to a party. At the Orpheus Ball, Orpheus King Harry Connick Jr. took center stage.
I saw my baby standing on the back porch behind.
I'm Amy Powell for E! News Daily.
Looks like lots of fun. Still to come on E! News Daily, the color of magenta for Whoopi. And Fred, Wilma, and the rest of the Bedrock are all dolled up. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Barbie is back, celebrating her 35th birthday. She's the best-selling toy of all time. To mark the occasion, Mattel is giving her a medical degree.
Meet Dr. Barbie.
Mattel is also introducing a special edition reproduction of the original 1959 doll. And the new posable Barbie can do the splits and ride a bike.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
Toys from movies are more popular than ever, even when the movie is still in production. This summer's Flintstones already has a line of stuffed dolls, including one that bears a striking resemblance to actor John Goodman.
Everyone's gonna love my Fred.
What a cute toy. The toy fair runs until next week. And finally, the most popular crayon company in the world has America feeling blue. A nationwide poll released by Crayola says blue is the most popular crayon color. But some longtime Crayola users color their world differently. City Slicker's Billy Crystal says his favorite crayon color is burnt sienna. His comic relief co-star Whoopi Goldberg prefers magenta, and Saturday Night Live's Mike Myers uses burnt orange to color his hair. Thursday on E! News Daily.
I'm afraid that a lot of athletes, they feel it's easy money, you know, and it's not.